Received a Scottish parking ticket and wondering if it can be enforced? In short, yes. However, a parking violation on private land is not the same as on public land. Let's look at the difference and see what you can do to appeal a Scottish parking fine. A parking facility on private land not owned by a local authority like a council is classed as private parking. Private parking may also be attached to businesses like universities, shopping centres, supermarkets and more. A private parking ticket is a charge issued to you for either not paying to park or overstaying the amount of time you paid for. The official name for these charges are parking charge notices, not to be confused with penalty charge notices issued by local authorities. Penalty charge notices from the council work very differently from parking charge notices. A council PCN is actually a fine, while a private parking ticket is more similar to an invoice you have to pay. So, a penalty charge notice from the council must be paid. However, like a private parking ticket, you can appeal against a council PCN, which we'll cover shortly. But do you have to pay private parking fines? In reality, you aren't legally obliged to pay a private parking fine unless told to do so by a court. If you don't pay a private parking ticket, it's highly likely that the company will send you payment reminders, add some late charges, or even threaten legal action. Though in reality, there's nothing private companies can do to collect money unless they take you to court. However, once court action is taken, the fine may become greater due to court costs, and a judge may make it your legal responsibility to pay. You may also be issued a court decree. I've researched these and they're really serious. They'll impact your credit report, possibly making credit and mortgages harder to obtain in the future. And if you do ignore the court decree, expect to hear a bailiff knocking on your door. There is some good news. If you think that the ticket was unfair, then you can appeal against private parking tickets, so long as it's from a legitimate company registered with the Accredited Trade Association. Companies not registered cannot ask for your address from the DVLA, which means you'll never hear from them again unless you write to them. If in doubt, you can check if a company is an ATA member by calling the British Parking Association. Beware though, the call is not free. So whether you received a private parking or council parking ticket, you'll need to decide between appealing the ticket or paying up front. In most cases, you'll likely be offered a reduction in your fine for prompt payment, sometimes as much as 50%. So if you don't actually have a good reason to appeal, you might want to pay sooner. Your ticket will likely be accusing you of a heinous crime, like parking 2 inches over a white line or staying 2 minutes too long. However, there is actually a 10-minute grace period for car parks, which might work in your favour. If you believe the ticket was wrongly issued, say you were within that grace period, then your first protocol should be to speak with the store or facility manager who might be able to have the ticket cancelled for you. If you genuinely think you have good grounds for an appeal and the ticket is unfair, say a genuine emergency or a vehicle breakdown prevented you from leaving the car park on time, then that might give you good grounds for an appeal. Additionally, parking companies are obligated to make their parking rules clear. If you feel that their signposting was unfairly poor, then strengthening your appeal by going back to the scene of the crime and snapping a few supporting photos is certainly not a waste of time. Be sure to follow the appeals procedure on your ticket as soon as possible. The quicker you can get an appeal filed, the sooner the problem can be resolved. But you need a fair time to be able to prepare any appeal. If they didn't get their letter to you within 14 days, then it's not unreasonable to ask for extra time. Writing an appeal letter can be daunting. It's hard to be totally sure what to say. A popular option is to consult a solicitor who can help to make your appeal airtight. There's many online solicitors that work out cheaper and easier than meeting in person. JustAnswer, for example, only costs £5 for a trial. I know a guy who saved £271 on his ticket doing this. I've linked that offer in the description, and if you use that, you'll also be supporting Money Nerd. So thank you.